Hello, Ryan here, and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all of the news from the week just past. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get on with it. This week, we get the FAQ for CitizenCon, the roadmap gets updated, plus we take a look at what is to become of Port Olisar. So this week's Inside Star Citizen was a look at what is happening with Port Olisar for Alpha 320. Now, Port Olisar was the very first location players started on when the persistent universe was very first realised, and has become very aged and outdated as the verse continues to grow. Now Port Olisar is not up to date, so it won't support all of the game systems and mechanics that we have today and that will come in the future, so something has to change. Now in Alpha 320, Port Olisar will be removed and replaced with Seraphim Station, which has been built using the latest modular space station tech and allows CIG to add on modules as and when they need to support the various game systems like cargo decks for cargo hauling, medical clinics, and bounty hunting decks. And for those interested in the lore, the reason it is called Seraphim Station is a nod to the original company's owner, August Dunlow, who bought a company called Seraphim Systems, which later became Crusader Industries. Now, Seraphim Station looks just like Port Olisar with a few new additions for the gameplay. It is a homage to Port Olisar, but with its own style, in the R&R branded station aesthetic. And what I love is that we got to see a little sneak peek at the security dock and the hover stasis cart as well, with these locations being used for dropping bounties off or collecting new bounty hunting missions, as there is a lot of work going into Bounty Hunting version 2, which will completely expand on that mechanic from what we have now, involving hunting, tracking, and capturing bounties alive, both players and NPCs, with NPCs also being capable of moving around the system instead of just staying in one location, and even getting out and fighting and running on foot. So each of the space stations above their respected landing zones sound like they will receive this security station as well, which is pretty much simply the station addition that we saw for Fleet Week, but with a more fleshed out interior, I suspect. Now, I suppose the big downside of swapping Port Olisar for Seraphim Station with this new modular tech is that it is going to be similar to other stations, which, you know, the R&R brand is its own company in the verse, so they do look similar for a reason, but this means they will get elevators to access hangars and different areas of the space station, which will certainly make Seraphim less convenient and efficient than Port Olisar. But talking about Port Olisar, CIG do say that they eventually will pay proper homage to that station later down the line, making sure that they send it off in a way that it deserves. For 320, it is just being removed and replaced, and in the future they will let us know what they plan to do. I feel strongly that it needs to remain somewhere in some state, be that a derelict floating in space or crashed onto a moon like Daymar, as a location for us all to visit years down the line just for nostalgia reasons, or to take our children to it. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what they have planned. It probably won't be for a while though, but as CIG have said, the benefit of these stations is that they are modular, and they can add various modules as and when new and future expansions come along, with new gameplay systems and careers, like we can see with the bounty hunting security decks. And also, for the Hull C specifically, this ship needs a station like this to even function, being able to use the decks and docking collars to load and unload. So there you go, a big shame we have to say goodbye to Port Olisar, but Seraphim is certainly a necessary upgrade for what the verse needs, and here's hoping that CIG find a great way to pay respects to Port Olisar in the future. But that was Inside Star Citizen, and that was the last Inside Star Citizen of the quarter, as they go on their usual 4-week break, coming back in about a month. So also this week, the Galactapedia was updated. The roadmap saw some changes, which I have covered in a separate video linked below. Also, there was quite a bit of information from a recent bar citizen in Hong Kong, which I have covered in a separate video, again linked below for those interested in learning more about the future of base building, land ownership, player housing and more. A lot of it is more way off in the future than anytime soon, but it is certainly interesting to hear CIG's thoughts on things. And finally, an FAQ was posted for this year's CitizenCon, so if you are attending, I do highly suggest giving it a read, and I have linked the FAQ below for you all as well. So that brings us to the end of the show. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Also, I am able to do this thanks to my very generous patrons and channel members. If you appreciate what I do and would like to help make it even better from as little as $1 a month, all of the links are provided below.